What's going on? How you guys doing today? I'm going to show you guys how to pressure can carrots. And if you're looking for something basic to start for pressure canning, doesn't get any easier than carrots. I'm not joking. So you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need your pressure canner. You're going to need your canning tools and your funnel. You're going to need quart jars because we're using quarts to can. You're going to need boiling water and you're going to need salt. That's about it. All right, let's get going. So here's the basic setup. Pressure canner, we're already warming it up. Got a pot of boiling water on the stove. We have a kettle there boiling more water. We have 7 quart jars that have all been washed, and I just took them out of the oven at 170 degrees Fahrenheit, so they're nice and warm. We've got, in this bowl here, we have some vinegar, canning tools, pickling salt, carrots. I think this is around 15 pounds of carrots. Measuring spoons. So this is really simple. All right, let's turn this a little this way so I can get in here. All you're going to do is take your carrots and fill your jars. If you want to use your funnel, go ahead, but just be aware that it's a little harder to get the carrots through. So just kind of waterfall them out of your hands. You want 1 inch of headspace, so don't do that. It's a little tricky to get your 1 inch headspace with carrots because they're hard. So this is basically your 1 inch line here. So basically, if you can get them to that 1 inch line, you're good to go. Just keep loading up all your jars. Fill them to that point. I'll get them done and then I'll catch you back on the next step. This is super simple, guys. All right. Get all your jars filled. Okay. Then grab your salt and put a teaspoon of salt in each jar. Now, this is not required. It's not a safety issue. It's a flavor issue. So, also, before I forget, we are doing a cold pack method. If you want to do a hot pack method, you basically do the same thing I'm doing now, except you pre-cook your carrots a little bit. But it is so much easier, guys, doing a raw pack method. Like, super simple. You're basically watching me do this in real time. That's it for jar preparation. Don't need that. Put the salt away. Okay, now we have our pot of boiling water. All we're going to do is, give me 1 second. Right, so now all we do is, if you're going to be technical to measure your 1 inch head spacing, I show this on all my videos, but there's a lot of new canners that watch my stuff. If you see here, trying to get it in the camera, on each one of these little squares, come on camera, there it is. All right, you see the numbers? So that's your 1 inch head space. So to get that, you just put it on that little spot like that. Make sure the water touches the bottom part. That's your 1 inch head spacing. So all we're gonna do is take this ladle right here and this pot right here, and we are just going to top up these jars and bring them to that 1 inch headspace level. This is why you want your jars hot, guys. You don't want those jars to crack and explode on you because we're putting boiling water in here, right? Sometimes it's easier to do it like this with a ladle too. It gives the jars a chance to start to change temperatures so they don't shatter. Canning jars are pretty damn durable, but accidents do happen and jars have been known to explode. You don't want that. So you see, we're just going to top that up, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just move that out of the way. So we're going to take our measuring tool. We're not quite at the 1 inch mark yet. As I pour water all over the place. There we go. 1 inch of headspace, just like that. So we're going to do that with all of our jars. So now that you have your carrots, your salt, and your boiling water in your jars, you're going to take your plastic measuring tool here. Don't use metal to do this next step. Make sure it's plastic. Get in here in your jars and poke them around, because you'll get bubbles that get trapped in your carrots, and you're going to need to make sure that you're releasing any trapped air pockets that might be sitting down in there. And you'll see, as you move them around, you'll see little bubbles float up to the top. Okay, we got that done. Next part, super simple, is you're gonna need a piece of paper towel. I know, I'm making this really complicated for you guys. I know. I have faith in you though. I know you can do this. So take your bowl of vinegar, dip your paper towel in it, and then just take your paper towel and run it around the tops of your jars. You may have gotten a little bit of salt on there. There might be a little piece of carrot on there you don't see. And always, I mean, you guys are going to reuse your mason jars just like I do. By the way, I am super excited because I was gifted cases and cases of these old school square mason jars. I was pretty excited. Like, I probably have 200 of them. And so the guy didn't want anything for them. And so I said, how about a trade? He's like, well, I don't want anything for them. I'm like, well, I can't just walk away with, 200 or 250 mason jars for free. I said, why don't I bring you back a big bag of homemade potato leek soup that I just made today? And the guy's like, that's a hell of a deal. So that's what it cost me. One bag of potato leek soup, about 3 meals worth in a bag. And I got myself an absolute ton of mason jars. All right, take your lids, put them on. I have my lids right here so you guys can see. I have them in a plastic container. That's hot water in there. And hang on, these lids are stuck together. Lids are stuck together. We no longer have to boil our lids to use them. We used to have to boil the lids. For you guys that have been canning a while, you know what I'm talking about. But we no longer have to boil our lids. But I do put them in hot water because I want the rubber to start softening up. So just like that, we're going to put our lids on. When you put your lids on, okay, take your lid, put it on, and I grab it with these 4 fingers, and I'll turn the lid, and when my fingers start to spin and my wrist is spinning, I know it's tight. These are only supposed to be finger tight, guys, because when these go in the canner, the lids need to be open just enough so it can push the air out of these jars. Don't over tighten your jars or they won't can properly. And after you've done a couple thousand, you can just kind of tighten it quick. You'll just get the feel of it. Also, always use brand new lids when you're pressure canning. Don't reuse your lids. Although 4 Jars, it's a company out there, they come with a 2-piece lid, and you can reuse 4 Jars 2-piece lids over and over and over, And I'm not affiliated with them or anything, but they are having a big sale on right now. Just a suggestion from one canner to another. We've got the canner warm, but it's not boiling. Because we're not putting in like boiling spaghetti sauce or something. So this is a 21 quart Presto canner. And it will hold 7 quart jars. And if you can see in the bottom, that thing down there with all the holes in it, there. Make sure you always have, that's called a trivet. That's like a metal disc that sits in the bottom. Always, always, always have a trivet in the bottom of here. You don't want your jars sitting on the bottom of your canner. Okay, like that. There is also 3 quarts of water in the bottom of this. Now that you have your cans in the pressure canner, crank your heat to max. Lock your lid down. Do not put the weight on here yet. So basically all we're going to do is we are just going to start getting this thing pumping. And when you see a huge blast of steam coming out of here, like, I mean, huge, it'll be like, you'll see. You like my sound effects? It's pretty good, eh? When you have like a massive blast of steam out of here, set your timer for 10 minutes. Don't put your weight on yet. Okay? So we're going to let this thing heat up. It's probably only going to take about 5 minutes. All right. See, we got the steam blasting out. It's kind of hard to see on camera, and the lock on the lid has locked. All right, so now, trying to get a camera angle. Look at the mess. I made spaghetti sauce on the weekend. Look what it did to my damn wall. All right, so now we're going to count, and we're going to set a timer for 10 minutes and let this blast out steam for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is up. Drop your jiggler on. And when the pressure gets to about 8, we want to run it at 10 to 11. Hold on so you guys can see there. Better? So when the temperature gets to between 7, or the temperature, sorry guys, it's been a long day. It's 9 o'clock here. My day started at 4 this morning. When your pressure gets to between 7 and 8 pounds, turn your temperature down. So look, mine runs on high, right? I'll turn it down to about a 7 right there, and that will keep my pressure at about a 10 to 11. So now all we do is we just watch the gauge climb. Doesn't take long, a couple of minutes at most. Okay, so we're at 8 pounds. I'm just gonna turn the temperature down to about a 7. And when this hits 10, my jiggler will start to jiggle on its own. It'll literally just start jiggling. This is one of my favorite parts of canning. Yes, I'm still just really a big kid. Just about there. So you should have had your temperature started to turn down like I did to mine. You don't want it screaming up. You don't want it screaming up into here. Right. So we're going to click on to 10 and watch the jiggler. Also, if you guys have the 21 quart Presto canner, you can call Presto and they will send you jigglers for free, by the way, as opposed to the weight that it comes with, right? And they sent me to a Home Hardware, and the Home Hardware gave me them for free. So if you don't like the big stupid weight that it comes with, and you'd rather rock a jiggler like this, then yeah, just call Presto and ask them for it. See what I mean? Look at that. Hit 10 pounds, Starts doing a little hula girl dance. Whoop, whoop. Here we go. All right, now we're gonna set our timer for 30 minutes. All right, we hit our 30-minute timeline. Now this part is really complicated, okay? Watch this. Turn that off, walk away. Let it naturally depressurize. When the lock drops and your gauge is at 0, then you can open it. Not before, not ever for any reason, and never take your jiggler off, or you will have steam that blasts all the way up to your ceiling. You could have all kinds of bad things happen, so don't do it. So turn that off and come back in a little while. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the following morning. And let's open up this bad boy. It's still warm. Get this out of the way. Put that there. Oh yeah. Now we're talking, right? Now we're talking. The nice part about letting them cool down a little bit is you don't even have to use your jar tongs. Yep. Boys' lunches. That's not bad, eh? Didn't take much time. I mean, the whole canning process to get everything in the jars takes 5 minutes. You know, get your water boiling ahead of time and your jars clean. Looks like we did get some siphoning here, though. See, we lost a little bit of fluid. If you guys see, there's a little bit of difference in some of the fluid volumes. That happens sometimes. There we go. Well, canned carrots, guys. Bam. Easy as pie. It's probably one of the easiest things you can absolutely, positively pressure can. And so the next carrot one I'm going to do, we're going to do spicy glazed carrots, and we're going to can them. I'm probably going to film that tonight after work. I need to get through my carrots from the garden. So like I said, canning carrots, stupid simple. Even if you're new to canning, just hit your safety markers and you're good to go. And now you can put fresh garden carrots into your pantry and eat them over the winter. And the nice thing about these is they're literally ready to heat and serve. So because they're already going to be soft now, all you got to do is heat them up. So I hope you guys like this one. Have an awesome day. Grow good food. I'll see you in the next video. That'll be tonight after work.